so I'm Alecia Johnson, and my hall name on Taylor Hall is Pinky. I'm Calecia Johnson, and my hall name is Rain. We're 22. We might not look the age, but we're 22 years old. When we were born, we found out that there was a hole in our heart, and the doctors, they basically pronounced death on us. That we're not gonna live for too long. But having a faith-based Christian grandmother, she went on fasting for us, and we walk by faith and not by sight. That hole eventually disappeared, and we are here today, a living testimony of what God can do, and to not, really listen sometimes to what the doctors have to say. There is something much bigger out there, God is real. And, that's basically one of the stories. It helps to keep us grounded in our faith. And we have lived to see God, do so much for us.
Yeah, for example, we're leaving university without having to pay any student loan.
Yeah, so a lot of opportunities came. Family members supported us. Just tell God your dream and He will finance it. That's a huge thing.
That's the whole interview. That's the whole interview.
We grew up in the beautiful district of Brighton. Many may not know it. Brighton St. Elizabeth.
Top Brighton,
as they would call it. Live in an extended home, with our grandma, our great grandma, our mom, our sister, cousins, aunts, everyone.
A lot of people
in the household. Yeah, and nice community.
Yeah, we also.
That's a nice community.
Yes, it's a nice community.
What have you ever spoke to your parents about what it was like when they found out that you guys were twins and what that meant for the family? They ever share that story with you?
Yes. So our mom, she had us young. She had us when she was 17
or 16.
16. She was in high school.
She was a very bad girl.
Yeah, bad girl,
Sneak out of the house and all of that. Yeah.
Yeah. She lived with her grandma and her grandpa, so she was a little bit rebellious. So, she had us when she was 16, 17, just a little bit before she left high school. Yeah, and when they found out, when my mom found out that she was pregnant, I guess she was surprised that she's gonna have twins at such a young age. Well, I remember her mentioning something about telling our dad, and he ran around. Let me just talk in patois. Him run around the tank with him hand on his head. Yeah. So
more than once.
Yeah. So twin life. We have probably about 3 twins in our family. We are probably the only girl. Yeah, we have twin boys and we have a boy and girl twin.
Yeah.
So
it was a good experience. So actually, when it was C-sec time, when we got the C-sec results, I passed for Westwood. Calecia passed for STET. So we decided to transfer to. Both of us decided to go to Westwood because at that time our mother, she was going to college, so it was best for us to go to boarding school. Yeah. So we moved to Trelawney. And we spent 5 years there.
In boarding?
Westwood? Yeah, in boarding. And that school molded us and shaped us into young ladies, I'm telling you.
There was no phones allowed, no computer. You just went there as you were with your books, because that's what you're going there to do, to study your books. So, yeah, no technology. We were just there on top of the hill with the jippy japper hat. Yes, and it was it was a eye-opening experience, you know, and we learned a lot. We learned how to manage our time. You want to say about the culture of Westwood? I think that I don't remember, you know, but they think that it makes us look more ladylike, you know, like like when ladies go to they dress up in their nice dress and their elegant hats. I think that's where the idea came from. When we are on the campus, we don't wear
we're not
hats.
required to wear the hat. It's when we come off the campus. Yeah.
No wicked hat.
And we were in boarding, so we didn't really wear ours. Only when
the thing we're required to wear it in the classroom, but once you're on campus, you don't have to wear it.
The Great Taylor Hall.
Right over there. Blue and white is always right. Yes.
Coming to UWI, I think the only thing that we had to adjust to was basically cooking meals.
Yes, we did not know how to cook.
So
we did not know how to
set of meals that we cooked.
Yes, we had to call our mother and use YouTube.
Yeah, the great YouTube. So had a few burnt meals, but we are at a better place now.
Yes, we're professionals now.
Yeah, that was the only challenge because we were going to boarding school before for 5 years, so we're used to being away from home. Yeah, the only thing now is that we have technology. We have to cook for ourselves. Yeah, so coming to the Great Taylor Hall, it was very nice. The culture is
they make you feel at home. They make you feel at home.
They talk about drubbing for first year. Was that your
experience? Dear, yes.
Tell me about.
Well, we spent our first year online. That was during COVID. Yeah, and then for our second year we came in and we joined the Blue and White Empire.
And the sorority of Falconia, the part of Haloria.
Yes.
Falcons in flight are a beautiful sight.
Yeah, we did get them rough way up, man. Them rough way up over there.
Like usually.
Everyone is going to go through it. Everyone who comes to university. What is necessary?
Okay, one advice I would give them is to keep your head on your body. Right? Especially the females. Lots of females, they come here and they lose sight of who they are. They get lost, basically. And yeah, keep your head on your body and learn to prioritize your time. You're gonna have a lot of parties on the weekend. You're gonna have a lot of parties on the weekend. What do you call it now? Carnival. Gonna have parties on the hall because every hall they have their different activities, right? Sporting activities. There's gonna be a lot of
things. You have to learn to manage your time.
You're gonna have to learn to manage your time and prioritize the things that you have to do. And keep a great deal of friends, persons who can actually help you to grow, help you to traverse through the university life. And make great links. That's more than one advice. But make links, talk to people, come out of your comfort zone.
Okay, so my advice is to have fun, don't stay in a room. Okay, so in the UWI environment, you might find that, especially if you're a Christian, you might find that you're not a party person. You don't have to go to student union to those parties. You can find places off campus. You can go to Devon's house and have a little picnic with your friends. Maybe you're coming from sixth form and you know someone. You can go off campus and just find out different places where you can relax, because everybody's not a party person. On this campus, you have a lot of persons who come here and they don't know themselves. You understand what I mean? So you can come here and find out who you are. Yes. This environment, it can mold and break you. I'm telling you. It can mold and break you. You have to have a strong support system around you. And not everyone who you think is your friend is your friend. So you have to watch out. So that's my advice. I found that there's danger in sitting in your comfort zone. So as a university student, it's not good for you to just come and just do your schoolwork, go back to your room. You have to put yourself out there, make connections, and put yourself in leadership roles, because when you put yourself in leadership roles, you might connect with someone, you can make connections basically, and that person, you might discover them after university, you might meet them after university, and they might be the person who gives you a job. So it's not good to stay in your room and just just do your schoolwork. It's very dangerous.
Can you give examples of some leadership?
So when I realized this, I applied for different leadership roles. I started with my passion. I applied for public relations officer. So I'm the public relations officer for my block cluster. I joined, yes, Falconia, the heart of Tayloria. I joined the subcommittee for Taylor Hall, the PRO, the public relations subcommittee. And I also, another life lesson, it's not good to confine yourself to one space. So I decided to move outside of Taylor, and I joined a guild subcommittee, that's sponsorship and fundraising. So yeah, there's danger in staying in a comfort zone.
There's power in unity and not, staying by yourself.
True.
I should believe in yourself.
Okay, so what I would tell my 15-year-old self is, you have power within you, believe in yourself, and have confidence in yourself, believe in yourself.
I would tell my 15-year-old self that walk by faith and not by sight. Because many times we are blinded by what we see, especially if you grow up in a community where there's not a lot of persons who, they move out and they go to university. Walk by faith and not by sight. There are a lot of opportunities out there for you to develop yourself, develop your skills. Don't be confined to your space, but dream big. I would tell you to find something that you love. Sometimes it's not all about the books,
or the money.
It's about what you love,
where your heart is. It's where your heart is.
Life. It's where your heart is. So whatever you love, whatever you get up in the morning and you love to do, think on that thing, work towards that, and wish to work in the investment field, not really to balance the accounts, but to basically, forecast the numbers, help businesses and companies to know that this is what the numbers are saying and this is what you're supposed to do, not invest in that specific. So, basically investment and real estate.
Yeah, I want to go in real estate, and I also want to pursue writing, because I'm a big writer. So I've written and published books on different platforms, and I'm currently working on one now. Yes.
No, hold on. The whole interview by itself. Come up yes. Yeah, tell me. I could just drop that when I done the interview.
Okay, so I think my passion for writing started when I was in boarding school. So while I was supposed to be doing my schoolwork, I held a separate book for writing stories. So I had like part 1 for the book, part 2, and these books, they were Christian romance books. So at Westwood, we have something they have something they call prep. That's where you sit and do your schoolwork in silence. But while I was supposed to be doing my schoolwork, I was writing storybooks.
So you didn't really have any phone or anything
Yeah.
to, you know, turn to. Can't just be in the book. So
Yeah. So while I was tired of doing my schoolwork, when I was tired of doing my schoolwork, I would take up the book, the storybook, and just continue writing. So these books, they would be passed around in the prep room. So while somebody might be reading part 1, somebody might be reading part 3. These are separate books. They have one book for part 1, one book for part 3. Some of these books, they got taken away by the house mother. So the house mother has some of them up at Westwood. So this is where my passion for writing started. So when I left Westwood, I realized that it was serious because I couldn't stop writing. So I decided to go digital. So the first book I wrote was Broken. This is a Christian romance. It's about a prostitute who he did not believe in God, and she encountered a billionaire. This billionaire is a Christian. He's from a Christian household, and these two individuals, they encounter each other, and the rest is just mystery. So I published this book on Wattpad. On Wattpad, they love the interaction is awesome.
especially in the US, in the United States.
Yeah, and on Wattpad they show you the different countries in which individuals are reading the books. So I published it on Wattpad. It has over 10,000 reads. Yes, so I published it on Wattpad. You might not know some of these platforms. You have Booknet, Inkit, Storia, and there's this new publishing platform. It's called We Ink. I'm an ambassador for that company as well. Yes.
Where they can find you on it?
I'm on Instagram as She Inspires Writing. So if you go on the page, you can see that you can see different graphics. Not only have I written Broken, there are other books. I have them on Amazon. They're much shorter, inspiring versions. They're not stories. They're just some words of encouragement, you know. They're much shorter. So yes. And I'm currently working on one now.
Can't say too much.
It has not really developed as yet. I'm on the first page. Speaking of that, I actually sent my book, Broken, to, I don't remember the name of the company, but it's a European publishing company. They were interested in physically publishing the book, but the offer, it seemed like, you know, they wanted to take advantage of the opportunity, that they would be gaining more. So I decided, after speaking to my mother, I decided not to accept it. So I would want to publish it by myself, physical copies. Yeah.
What was that? Walk me through that little process. I'm intrigued now. So
Interview.
no man. So tell me about that though. Like, so how they saw the book and how they reach out to you and.
Okay, so it was an
Don't go away now, cause Pinky are going with herself.
come. So it was an advert. I saw an advertisement on Instagram. They were taking for authors. They wanted them to send them their our digital books, and if they liked it, they would help us to publish it. So I did it a long time ago, maybe like 6 months ago or so, and you know, I just had my phone in my hand and I saw this email coming in from when I saw Europe and I saw writing, you know, I just spotted the keywords. And I jumped up and I went around to Calecia and I said, Calecia, come here. And I opened the email, and you know, at first it looked so appealing, and I envisioned myself as this, because they were even offering TV interview and all of these things. I was saying to myself, I'm popular now. I'm popular now, I'm making it alive. Because I left university and go right. Yeah, and after going through that happy stage now, I then called my mother. In that happy stage, she was happy, and then she told me to send her the offer, because they sent the whole contract and everything, and she went through it, and she's the one who opened my eyes, and She made me realize that they were the ones who were going to benefit from it more. Yeah.
It's not all on the government. The central bank, they play a role too in controlling inflation. You know, unfortunately, inflation is not so low in Jamaica now, so that's why the housing fees are, you know, they're so high now. So I think inflation is what is messing up the real estate industry. And yeah, I've seen it on campus. You know, persons who graduate, they have to be applying back on hall instead of going outside of UWI to apply for housing, you know, and somewhere to rent. So there needs to be some macroeconomic policies put in place to reduce inflation. And because even when inflation is high and you have a great job, inflation is taking away all of that money. So the key thing to work on is inflation, and then, you know, this can focus on the salary and stuff after. Yeah.
Right away.
Which one of us is brighter?
It depends on the subject, you know. Depends on the course.
First fight. Who win?
We don't fight.
So
We don't fight.
petty fights, but we're close like that. We don't believe in that.
Even
We probably like say utter something under breath, you know, but we don't fight. We don't do the physical, no.
I think one time we were trying to hold a grudge against each other, and it did not last for more than 24 hours.
Who eat more?
Alecia, Pinky eats more. Pinky eats more and Pinky sleeps more.
Anybody get married first?
Me.
You?
Yeah, I've always wanted to
Let
get
us
married.
see. We will see.
I've always wanted to get married young. Well, I'm young now, but you know, in my 20s, I hope to get married, to find that lifelong partner who I can spend the rest of my life with. And
I don't think I'll be in Jamaica.
where would you be?
I don't know.
No,
I'm not in
I've
Jamaica.
always wanted to live in Canada. I always dreaming about living in Canada and, you know, doing basically investment and real estate. My heart is really there. You know, help people find homes and not be confined to the office space. You know, there are a lot of different sectors within, you know, there are a lot of things out there in the business sector you can venture into. But I, for one, don't want to be confined to the office. Yeah, but I'm always dreaming of living in Canada. Yeah,
I think I will.
Married there, having kids.
I think I will be in a very happy place. I plan to keep my faith, be well grounded in Christ. I don't think I will be in a confined space, you know, like in an office space working. I think I will be traveling and working, and of course, be an active and full-time author, signing books and all those things.